Welcome back, viewers, to another news hour on Jamono Media and Products. We now begin with our headlines. Judiciary denies $11 million fraud allegations. Interior Minister calls for prosecution of Chinese nationals who faked $3 million robbery. Ministry of Justice is responsible for congestion of Mile 2 prison, said Honorable Madi Sisi. Those were the headlines. We now have the news in detail. The Office of the Chief Justice has denied allegations of mismanagement of $11 million involving a judicial staff. 2 weeks ago, police spokesperson Cadet ASP Bintanjai told the Standard the Police Special Investigations Unit has been probing the alleged $11 million fraud at the judiciary. But in a statement on Friday, the Chief Justice said no such cash has been stolen from the judiciary fraud. This is not the case. The judiciary has not lost any such frauds. The Chief Justice Office further said the reports of the corruption are of significant concern to the judiciary as they create the impression that the judiciary has stolen or defrauded of the said amount. What appeared to be an attempt to fraud the judiciary was discovered by the judiciary in 2021, and unnecessary actions were taken accordingly. The intervention of the central bank and senior management of the judiciary thwarted the attempted fraud. The statement from the Chief Justice Office read, according to the Chief Justice Office, the judiciary reported the matter to the police on the 15th December 2021, and the staff member concerned was sent home pending the conclusion of police investigations. Police spokesperson Cadet Binta ASP Binjai has confirmed that the Police Special Investigations Unit has completed its investigation into the alleged fraud and submitted its report to the Attorney General's chambers for legal advice. Asked when the report was submitted to the Attorney General chambers, PR Onjai said she would need time to find out. The Minister of Interior, Siaka Sonko, has called for the immediate prosecution of the 2 Chinese nationals who faked a robbery in an attempt to make away with over $3 million. According to the police, the 2 Chinese identified as John Zizing and Lucas Wanbia of Kanifing planned the robbery to steal $3,030,000 from a shop. The duo have since been arrested and charged. Speaking to journalists on Friday, Minister Sonko said they are very concerned about a scene of robbery involving 2 Chinese nationals who deliberately stabbed each other for sinister purpose. His minister wishes to strongly condemn these crimes, and they want the immediate prosecution of the perpetrators through a competent court of law. According to Minister Sonko, the Chinese thought they would blindfold the police because of the number of crimes reported recently. Commenting on the alarming number of robbery and homicide cases, Minister Sonko said most of the homicide cases in the country were reported in the homes and private places. This is a threat to their social cohesion, peace and security as a people. The Minister of Crimes head on, and they enjoy the police support and cooperation with the police and other forces in the national crusade. They are committed to support the crackdown on criminals and prosecute anybody found wanting to break the law, he said. He said the police officers have been deployed within identified violent crime hotspots in an attempt to increase police visibility for deterrent and swift responses. In the past week, the police have conducted stop and search night patrols to ensure that people live in a safe and peaceful society, he said. He urged that there are reports that some of the crimes were influenced by drugs, saying parents should discover their children from taking drugs and alcohol. From 2016 to 2022, Drug Law Enforcement Agency registered 3,442 cases involving 3,544 accused persons, 1,057 trafficking-related cases, and 2,110 possession cases. That is a huge number, and these are different types of drugs, he said. Minister Sonko urged Gambians to avoid portraying a bad image of the country at all times. He thinks we should be mindful also that this is the only country we can call home. It is a destination for tourists. So if we defeat it as such a horrible place, we would want to come to a horrible place where every minute someone is killed. Honorable Madi Sise, National Assembly member for Serekunda West constituency, has urged that Minister of Justice is responsible for the congestion at the Mile 2 prison. Honorable Sise made this statement on Saturday during the adjournment debate on the National Assembly. The Ministry of Justice is responsible for the congestion of the prisons. At one point in time, they had 180 detainees at Mile 2 prison remand wing under horrible conditions. The Justice Minister should do something about the congestion of the remand prisons. You go to the Janjanbureh at a time in point, 30 of them, and some of these people have been in these conditions ranging from 2 years to 14 good years on the remand, Honorable disclosed. He emphasized that the longest person that is in the reminds in this is in his 14 years and the case is not concluded. What kind of republic are we in? What is the Ministry of Justice doing? He questioned. He said what the ministry should do is speed up the process of taking remand wing prisoners to court and make sure the courts are not interrupted. He cannot understand how someone can be on remand for 14 years, he said inquisitively. He went on that if that kind of prisoner is at the prison while new prisoners are brought into the remand wing, definitely the wing should be congested. That is why the wing is horrible. Meanwhile, he said the human rights violation at Mile 2 is taking people at the remand wing unnecessarily. Said he cannot understand how you can keep someone from 2 to 14 years. For him, that is unreasonable. He confirmed that what is happening in Mile 2 is the same thing that is happening at Janjanbureh prison. Janjanbureh prison at one time, there were 30 prisoners and the longest prisoners there were 7 years. He called the Ministry of Justice to congest their prison, he said. He therefore suggested that to mitigate the congestion at the prison, the Ministry of Justice should come up with mechanisms where the judiciary can work efficiently so that cases are taken to court regularly and they should allow the court to continue without interruption. Justice delayed is justice denied. He therefore called the attention of the Vice President Ali Batara Juf to call the Ministry of Justice to look into such cases, particularly the case of those pending from 7 to 14 good years. He appealed. Those were the stories. Thank you for joining us with your presenter, Maria Magellan. Do have a wonderful day.